Hello everyone, this is Steve, but you'll probably know me as Oddiz, and I'm starting out on 96 on Nuketown for Nuketown this was during a Nuketown 24/7. But the gameplay is not important because what I wanted to rant about today was whether or not video games is a sport. Now, as you'll probably learn from watching this commentary, my opinion on this is that of course video games is a sport. I mean, when I bring this point up with somebody, generally, the first thing a lot of people don't understand the definition of a sport. And it's classified as a physical activity. Now, people say, well, look, twiddling your thumbs is not enough physical activity. But it is. It's physical activity. There's no limit, or I'll say minimal amount of physical activity that you need. All you need is physical activity. Moving your thumbs it's burning calories. Now it's like a half a calorie a second. No. My point is, you're moving, which means that you're physically moving. Now that's the physical part. The skill part in this is that I can physically, using an analog stick, to aim a gun better than someone who has never played Call of Duty. That is a fact. I mean, that's the physical skill. If it was like mental, that's not mental. It's physical. So you can see where I'm coming with the physical skill part. So if a sport is an activity that requires physical skill and is competitive, well, by that definition, chess is not a sport, and that's something a lot of people agree with. Because there's no physical skill involved. There's mental skill. Mental skill, not physical skill.
Headquarters secured.
Now, video games is competitive. That's what Call of Duty was designed to be. It was it's supposed to simulate a shooter with game types in it, such as Headquarters that I'm playing in this game. But there's an objective. And the goal in this game is to win. When they first designed Call of Duty, they didn't design it so that people would camp in corners or quickscope. They designed it so that people would use guns to play an objective. And that has evolved so much into MLG, which is incredibly competitive, just like the NFL or the MLB. Right? So anybody who says MLG is not competitive, well, I don't know what to tell that person then. So there's the competitive part. Now, and to argue that this isn't an activity? What? No, that doesn't make sense. Of course this is an activity.
Ready to jam enemy radar.
Anyways, so it's an activity that requires physical skill and is competitive. Bam. Done. Video games. I just fit video games into all of those categories. Now the only problem is that some people will say, alright, look, there's not enough physical skill. Not enough whatsoever. Twiddling your thumbs? No way, that's not. You need to do something else. It's not enough to make a sport. Well, then you gotta think about, well, what about NASCAR? Do you really think NASCAR should be on ESPN? I mean, come on. You're what? You're moving your arms to turn a car.
Headquarters located.
Okay? In video games, you're twiddling thumbs. You're twiddling your thumbs to shoot a gun. How is that so much different to make it not a sport? That's an Eminem statement, yeah. Anyway.
Friendly napalm strike on the way.
That is generally a predicament for the person who's arguing against me. Because they can't they can't back that up.
SR-71 online.
Moving your arms is enough, but twirling your thumbs is not. No, they can't. They
Spy plane
can't.
ready for deployment.
Like I said, they can't back
Headquarters
that up.
online.
And the reason that is because that statement that video games does not have enough physical activity
Ready to jam enemy radar.
is completely based off of their opinion.
Counter spy
When you're
plane
in
standing
arguments
by.
like that, opinionated
Counter spy planes in the air.
statements are very
Friendly spy plane inbound.
incredibly hard to argue against.
Headquarters secured.
And that's because the person who said that is only going to back that up by other
Firing
opinions.
for effect. Enemy spy plane incoming.
So,
The enemy destroyed the headquarters.
do
Headquarters
you...
located.
NASCAR does not have that much more physical activity than video games. The only difference is that in NASCAR you're moving at 190 miles per hour. But you're sitting down, you're pressing a pedal, and you're turning a wheel. That's what you're doing in NASCAR. And in video games, you're twiddling your thumbs. No, there's not that much of a difference. And if anyone thinks NASCAR is a sport, I would almost call them a liar. Or a hypocrite.
SR-71 online.
Or it's something along, I don't know. But something that would imply that they're just incredibly stupid to think that NASCAR is a sport and video games is not.
Headquarters online.
And you won't believe how many people I've convinced.
Napalm strike coming in.
Like almost all, and almost with almost all of my friends, I've brought this topic up before, and it's interesting because I've only had a couple of
Napalm strike
people
all the way.
argue against me in a proficient manner. Like I had one friend who had said, "Alright, look, I see where you're coming from, but
Spy plane ready for
I
deployment.
cannot think of video games as a sport unless it's an
Ready to jam enemy
MLG.
radar.
That's the only time I'd consider it a
Ready to
sport."
jam enemy radar.
That's what he said, not me.
Counter spy plane up. They're blind. Friendly spy plane inbound.
Guard said, look, you're going to disappoint. I'm glad I brought some truth to your eyes. And
Spy plane
I
standing
hope
by.
you look at video games differently.
Ready to
Especially
jam
now
enemy
that you...
radar.
I mean, that was very badly worded.
Napalm strike awaiting
My
orders.
point is, lots of people are just prejudiced.
Our spy planes in the air.
Sorry.
Napalm strike awaiting
Lots of
orders.
people are prejudiced against thinking of video games as a sport.
Kill confirmed.
If you haven't noticed, I switched to the AK in this gameplay.
Headquarters secured.
But, disregarding a little bit of information on the gameplay, I
Spy plane ready for
absolutely 100% support having MLG
Counter
on
spy plane
ESPN.
standing by.
I think that would be so brilliant, and I don't understand. Well, I
Counter
don't.
spy planes in the air.
I don't know what ESPN's reasoning is against it, but I could understand why they don't want to put it on TV. And if you think about it, think about MLG's audience.
Enemy
I don't remember the exact statistics, but the amount of people who tuned in to the MLG Dallas event every day.
Friendly napalm strike on the way.
Well, if you take the total amount of people who tune into MLG Dallas and you divide that over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is the amount of the days the event went over, then the amount of people who tuned in per day was not enough to fill up the football stadium. That's just the people who watched it online. That's not the people who went there.
Counter spy plane up. They're blind. Friendly spy
Okay?
plane
The
inbound.
people who watch football every Sunday. There's enough people to fill up the stadium. And the millions of people who watch it on TV.
Headquarters online.
ESPN would be stupid not to put NFL. But to put MLG
Napalm
on,
strike coming in.
I don't think they'd have
Enemy
enough
capture
of
the
an
headquarters.
audience. because then not many people will watch it. Therefore, not many people will want to advertise on it. Therefore, ESPN would not make as much money as if they played an NFL game again.
Headquarters located.
I mean, I suspect that was ESPN's reason of saying, no, you need to get a bigger following.
Spy planes in the air.
No, yeah, MLG's argument would be, hey, look, give us a chance, put us on, and let us get a bigger audience. We're not gonna get a big audience fast unless you put us on TV and expose us to the millions of people who watch ESPN.
Counter spy plane up, they're blind. Napalm
So that
strike waiting for your mark.
is my thought on why ESPN should not put
Headquarters
MLG on.
online.
But if you think about it, cable TV is
Napalm
dying.
strike awaiting orders. Napalm strike waiting for your mark.
There's people are putting their TV shows on the internet because
Napalm strike awaiting
I
orders.
mean some people don't even have.
Friendly spy plane inbound.
I suppose that's obvious that some people don't have TVs, but I mean there's TV shows based on the internet. Everything's moving over to this amazing thing that we call the internet. The internet? The internet.
Counter spy plane
Interwebs.
Counter spy plane up, they're blind.
And I mean, less and less people are going to be buying cable TV and just watching it on the internet. Or Netflix. Netflix is that amazing service that I'm having.
Friendly napalm strike on the way.
It lets you watch TV
Napalm strike waiting for your mark.
without having cable TV.
Friendly spy plane inbound.
And even stuff like CBS.com.
Napalm
Or,
strike
you know,
awaiting orders.
TV networks that put up their
Napalm strike on the
shows.
way.
You can watch TV without having cable TV. You can watch TV shows, that is. And I mean, I would not be surprised at all if something like Machinima Sports
Counter spy planes in
was
the
the
air.
next ESPN in 20 years, because they ruled the internet.
Target neutralized.
Now, Machinima Sports is all a video
Napalm
game,
strike on the way.
but I mean, it's 20 years. A
Headquarters
lot can happen in
secured.
20 years.
Friendly
So, I mean,
Cobra inbound.
going back to what I was talking about before. Wow, that went really on different threads. Going back to what I was saying before. I can see why ESPN turned out MLG. And I think MLG needs to get a bigger audience if they want to get an ESPN. As well as broadcast their point that video games is of course a sport. And they need to bring the arguments that I just told you guys out and expose them to 90% of the people who don't think of video games as a sport, don't even know what MLG is, do not understand what
To victory, don't quit
an
now.
objective headquarters is in Call of Duty.
Napalm strike coming.
By the way, I'm just talking about Call of Duty. If you lasted this long in the commentary, obviously you're interested in what I'm saying. But,
Hostile RCXD spotted in
or
your
you could
area.
just be watching it for, I don't know. You guys
Enemy
are
spy
weird.
plane incoming.
Weird people on the internet. Watch weird videos for weird reasons. Anyway.
Time's almost up.
I just wanted to say what I was talking about.
Our spy planes in the air. Ready to jam enemy radar.
Wow, I just got a massive brain
Headquarters
fart.
online.
I have no idea what I was just talking about. Anyways, let me try to start up a new topic. Look, the game. Alright. If you lasted this long. Oh, the game's over.
Mission
Alright.
accomplished. Good
Look.
work.
Now, what I want you to do is just tune in for like 10 more seconds to see the very end of the game. Because this is a pretty cool thing I want to point out. And this is why I picked this game. This is why I picked this game to do a commentary over. Look how much XP I get at the end. And now, look at this. 45,000 XP. That's a lot.